Here's something most people never stop to consider about their brain feeling tired. You wake up after 8 hours of sleep, yet within a few hours your mind already feels heavy, foggy, and unwilling to focus. Everyone calls it mental exhaustion, but almost no one talks about what it actually means psychologically. Today we're diving deep into why your brain gets tired even when your body feels fine, what's really happening inside your head, and why this kind of fatigue has become so common in our modern world. The truth is, mental fatigue is not just being tired of thinking. It's a distinct psychological state where your brain's cognitive resources have been depleted after prolonged mental effort. Cognitive psychologists describe it as a decline in mental performance caused by sustained use of attention, working memory, and decision-making systems. Unlike physical tiredness that comes from muscles, this fatigue lives in the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for focus, planning, self-control, and complex thinking. When that area gets overworked, everything starts to feel harder. One of the clearest signs your brain is tired is decision fatigue. You notice small choices suddenly feel overwhelming: what to eat, which reply to send, even what to watch. Research by social psychologist Roy Baumeister shows that every decision we make uses up a limited pool of mental energy. After too many decisions or too much self-control, this pool runs low, and our brain starts taking shortcuts or simply shuts down options. That's why you end up scrolling endlessly instead of actually choosing something. Another major sign is emotional reactivity. When your brain is tired, emotions become louder and harder to manage. You get irritated faster, cry more easily, or feel unusually flat. This happens because the prefrontal cortex normally helps regulate the emotional centers in the limbic system. When it's exhausted, that regulation weakens, and you feel everything more intensely or struggle to feel anything at all. It's not that you've become a more emotional person overnight. Your brain simply doesn't have the energy left to keep emotions in check. You also experience attention fatigue. Focusing on one task starts feeling almost physically painful. Your mind wanders every few minutes. You reread the same paragraph multiple times, and even simple work feels draining. This is called directed attention fatigue. Studies on attention restoration theory by environmental psychologists Rachel and Stephen Kaplan explain that our brains have a limited capacity for voluntary attention. After hours of forcing focus, especially on screens, notifications, and multitasking, that capacity gets depleted, leaving you mentally scattered. Many people notice creative blocks when their brain is tired. Ideas that usually flow easily suddenly feel out of reach. Problem solving becomes slower and more rigid. This occurs because creative thinking requires both the focused executive network and the more relaxed default mode network to work together. When the brain is exhausted, it stays stuck in a narrow, effortful mode and loses the flexibility needed for fresh insights. Another quiet but powerful effect is a sense of detachment or emptiness. You go through the day doing everything you're supposed to do, yet nothing feels meaningful. Psychologists link this to ego depletion, the idea that self-control and purposeful action draw from the same limited mental fuel. When that fuel is low, even activities you normally enjoy can feel pointless. It's not depression in the clinical sense, but it can certainly feel like it. Information overload plays a huge role in modern brain tiredness. Our brains were never designed to process the constant stream of news, messages, emails, and content that hits us daily. Neuroimaging studies show that excessive information activates the same stress response as physical threats. The brain releases cortisol, which in small doses helps focus, but in constant doses exhausts neural resources and impairs memory and learning. Sleep quality matters far more than sleep quantity here. Even if you sleep enough hours, poor deep sleep or frequent interruptions prevent the brain from clearing metabolic waste and restoring neurotransmitters like dopamine and serotonin. This is why some people wake up tired in the head no matter how long they stay in bed. Here's what's important to understand. Your brain being tired is not a personal weakness or laziness. It's a biological signal telling you that cognitive resources are running low and need recovery, just like muscles need rest after intense exercise. Highly intelligent or highly sensitive people often experience this fatigue more intensely because their brains naturally process more information and make more connections, burning through mental energy faster. The good news is that mental fatigue is highly recoverable when you treat it seriously. Short periods of complete mental rest, not just scrolling, but true downtime with no input, allow the brain to restore itself. Time in nature, gentle movement, or even staring out a window have been shown in studies to reduce directed attention fatigue remarkably well. Reducing unnecessary decisions, setting clear boundaries with technology, and protecting deep focus periods can prevent exhaustion from building up in the first place. So, if you've been feeling mentally drained lately, know that it doesn't mean something is wrong with you. It means your brain has been working hard, sometimes too hard, in a world that rarely gives it the rest it needs. Understanding the psychology behind this tiredness gives you the power to respond with kindness instead of frustration. Your brain isn't broken. It's simply asking for the same thing every other part of you needs from time to time, a chance to rest, reset, and recover. When you start seeing mental fatigue as a normal psychological process rather than a flaw, you stop fighting it and start working with it. That shift alone can reduce a lot of the secondary stress that makes the tiredness worse. Your mind is incredibly capable, but it's not unlimited. Giving it the care and recovery it deserves isn't giving up, it's what allows it to keep performing at its best over the long term. And maybe that's the most important realization of all. A tired brain isn't failing you. It's just a very human brain doing its best in a very demanding world. Listen to it, respect its limits, and it will keep supporting you through everything that matters.